Supervisory Management Part 1: A Guide to Receiving the Ultimate from Willing Workers. Hello listeners, my name is Ian Outkirk and I am a training facilitator in management as well as customer relations. In this lesson we will be looking at supervisory management. It will be divided up into several podcasts and this lesson would be part 1. For all you budding supervisors and those who have already budded, can you say that? It is my goal to be able to give you a little more insight into the realm of supervision and some key facts that would allow those who are now entering the arena to be able to get a better hands-on experience when executing your duties. Let's look at 2 definitions of a supervisor. The first one, a supervisor is someone who leads a group of employees to achieve some desired result through guidance, direction, and feedback. The key words here are leads and achieve some desired result. The supervisor must set an example and obtain commitment in delivering the best work practice at all times. The second definition is supervision is a process which aims to support, assure, and develop the knowledge, skills, and values of the person being supervised. Again, in a nutshell, this definition looks at how the supervisee can develop his or her skills through guidance from his or her supervisor and apply it towards the smooth, efficient, and timely execution of the supervisee's duties. Most importantly, let me say this: unless you are a people person, forget your dreams of becoming a supervisor. As a supervisor, you have to be interested in your subordinates' welfare, development, and goal achievements, whilst giving as much help, both institutionally and personally. To support this, it is necessary to look at 5 areas. Making the change. The first area is recognizing the fact that when placed in the role of a supervisor, you have to change from being powerful to personal. You will have to interact with your staff on a more regular basis through guidance and coaching. On the aspect of coaching, we will be looking at this in another podcast. Therefore, the factor here is twofold. One is to show the individual that he or she is capable in achieving success in whatever has been assigned to be done. And 2, that the individual has been empowered to contribute to the department's goal and ultimately to the overall goal of the company. The second area involves moving from control to collaboration. Your knowledge as a supervisor has to be shared with those working under you, your teams, and maybe your colleagues. The goal here is results. You cannot help your knowledge or keep your knowledge to yourself if you wish company and team development. The third area concerns proactivity and reactivity. Gone are the days of waiting to react to a problem, instead of foreseeing that a problem may occur and dealing with it before it escalates. When this is done, costs and rectification time are kept to a minimum. This reminds me of a saying which highlights 4 types of managers and goes like this. First type, the manager who knows that something will happen. Second type, the manager who knows that something has happened. Third type, the manager who did not know that something has happened. And worst of all, 4th type, the manager did not know that something could happen. Do try to stay out of the latter 2. So if you belong to the first two types, you are fairly good. But as I said, the last two types have to be avoided. Especially the last thing, where the manager did not know that something can even happen. The fourth area in the role of a supervisor is moving from robotic compliance to having a strategic vision. As a supervisor, one has to move away from just acting automatically when something has actually happened to looking forward and determining what could be done to make improvements in my area of operations, not only for the organization, but for those working in and contributing to the organization's success. The fifth area that a would-be supervisor should be ensuring that he follows is moving from a manager to a leader. Don't just manage, lead. A true head of a division or department don't just manage on a day-to-day basis. They determine which could be done to attract new customers, how to make them happy, how expenses could be reduced, how profits can be increased, could the business be expanded, and most of all, by setting examples of being at work on time, being committed to the job at hand, and delivering the utmost. Let's look at developing the mentality now. All necessary when you have become a supervisor. Okay, you have been made a concerted, let me say that again. Okay, you have made a concerted effort to make the change. But are you prepared to give your all, to be a proper supervisor? If you are prepared, then you need to continuously assess your position. You need to ask yourself the question, am I doing the right things? Is there more that I can do? Have I fallen behind on any performance standards? Depending on your answers, it may be necessary to take a strong look at the level of commitment to your job. In other words, how developed is your mentality? To ensure that your mentality towards being an effective supervisor is at the right level, you need to be doing a number of things. One is to continuously assess your position as a supervisor. This means a certain amount of introspection is needed. You have to be looking within. An honest look is required to determine if the right things are being done based on certain requirements, values, and example settings. Secondly, study those who are already supervisors. Determine who appears to be doing the right things against those who are not. This can clearly be ascertained from observing the number of problem areas that surround supervisors who are not on the right track. Thirdly, involve yourself in self-development. Do not wait on upper management to send you on courses related to your area. When on annual leave, seize the opportunity to enroll privately for small 1-day or 2-day training courses on areas related to supervision. Read books and scour the internet for information on supervision. When management decides to send you on a specialized training course on supervision or management-related topic, you are well prepared. Fourthly, volunteer for leadership. Don't wait for a request or a notice board display for a vacancy. As soon as you know of an opportunity, seize it. Demonstrate your willingness to be the person for the job. There is no guarantee that you would get the advertised position. However, you would have demonstrated a certain eagerness to perform, and that would be noted for any future opportunities. Fifthly, demonstrate your interest in being a leader through your dress, your actions, your friends, and your work approach. Sixthly, get to know your organization's politics, and by that I mean, why does the organization exist? Who are its customers and suppliers? Further, what are its core values and culture? If possible, who does their organization particularly support, and who in particular supports your organization? Ensuring that good human relations exist. Having developed that mentality and keeping it, there is one more area that a supervisor needs to give thought to, and that is human relations. A supervisor must ensure that good human relations exist at all times. Once the level drops, performance drops, standards drop, and productivity and production go out the window. Therefore, it is imperative that the aforementioned level is kept high. In order for this to happen, a number of steps have to be taken to ensure that there is always good moral existing. The first step is ensuring that good moral always exists. If there is a breakdown in moral level, productivity level also drops, with the ultimate drop in production. Signs that the moral level needs to rise are reduced commitment to being involved in the work situation, frequently it coming by some members of staff, and frequent absenteeism. I would look at the avoidance factors to low moral in another podcast. However, for now, I would just like to say that one should ensure that concern for staff welfare exists and there is just treatment for all. Another factor in good human relations is involving staff in teamwork. This pulls together various personnel who share thoughts, beliefs, and ideas contributing to a set common goal. Also, contributing to good human relations is keeping staff up to date on aspects of company business decisions and other factors about the company that is general knowledge but not known to your staff. I'd like to bring my part 1 presentation at this point to an end. And my next podcast would be looking at the ins and outs of a typical organization where you could be acting as a supervisor and what can or cannot be expected.